Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Thank you for returning subscribers and members. What we do here, if you are new, is we react to the most disturbing and creepy videos from the internet, and we go through the latest. If you like what you see, don't forget to sub up, turn on the notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. With that being said, let's roll.
Video is for entertainment purposes only.
Trump, by the way, if we're taking a look at him, he had been extremely vocal in the past for years, by the way, before he even ran for president, about the disaster of our foreign policy in the Middle East. He specifically called out Barack Obama back in 2011 for what he deemed to be an unnecessarily looming conflict with, well, you guessed it, Iran. Take a listen.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran.
Okay, and he kept up that 4 years later, that same rhetoric during the 2015 Republican presidential election debate.
The war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake, all right? Obviously, it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. But I want to tell you, they lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
All right. And I'm not kidding when I say that this was 8 weeks ago, you guys. Take a listen.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
And Trump has this to say about Tulsi Gabbard, who is his director of national intelligence. You can just dismiss what she says, according to Trump. Take a listen.
Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon, but how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to have it.
What is that, guys? You don't care what your director of national intelligence is telling you? You don't care? Because Bibi Netanyahu, called you up and said, yeah, we need a pretext for war. Like we always need a pretext where we're constantly bombing and killing people all the time. We're committing a Holocaust in Gaza. Could you just go out there and tell them they had they were building a nuclear bomb? They weren't. And there's been no evidence of that outside of Bibi Netanyahu's trust me, bro, because I guess you have to come up with something to make people hysterical to believe that we have this never ending right to murder human beings. That's what it is. It's a carte blanche that has been handed to Israel to continually murder human beings in the Middle East, to use American soldiers to effect regime changes in the Middle East at the benefit of no one but Israel, okay?
Well, it's all very confusing, peeps, isn't it? Hey, I don't know what's going on in the world. It is all very confusing. Very, very confusing. And if there is a very select few of people that are running all this, it's a very carefully thought out plan, because I can't work it all out. I have no idea what's going on, what's really going on. But one thing I do know is what they're telling you is not the truth. For entertainment purposes only, obviously.
I just want to say that never in the 32 years on this earth did I think that my veteran first responder ass would be driving home from work, eating stale EMS room cheeses, cheering on Iran. What is life? Free Palestine.
Yeah, this just brings me straight back to there's no good sides. You've got two choices and they're both a shizzle show of a choice. Because if you're choosing Iran, I mean, and you have a look into Iran and the way that they treat their women and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit nefarious. You know what I mean? I don't really know exactly, but I've heard some rumors.
Once our operation is finished, you can come back safely to your homes. If you take away the Soviet Union and its chief proxy, the PLO, international terrorism would collapse. If you take out Saddam, I guarantee that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Obviously, we like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq. The question now is a practical question. What is the best place to proceed? It's not a question of whether Iraq's regime should be taken out, but when should it be taken out? Libya is, while no one is watching, under the cloak, is trying very rapidly to build an atomic bomb capability. I believe that the next step is to choose. It's not a question of whether you have to take action, but what kind of action and against whom. Today it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. This is a time for war, a war for our common future.
Very interesting. It's funny how well we live in, people. Why are they spitting at people? I've seen loads of these videos, and I've been holding myself back, not put them in. But you know, I think it's time. I've put them in because why are they spitting at people? And I've seen videos on them towards the Christian stuff. Like, what is this all about? You know what I mean? I read my Bible. I read the Old Testament Bible, and it didn't make sense to me. And now, but I'm looking around at the world, and it does make sense to me because of the leader from the Old Testament Bible and what's going on over there right now.
Okay, so I'm in the middle of Tel Aviv. What you're looking at here is the crater from one of the Iranian ballistic missiles that hit last night. And this is the blast damage behind me, these residential apartment buildings.
I can't help but feel that everything is just being reset. It's just everything's just being blown to smithereens all over the world. I mean, what a waste of money.
I see who you are. You are my enemy. My enemy. You are my enemy. I see who you are. You are my enemy. I see who you are. You are my enemy. My enemy. You are my enemy. I see who you are. You are my enemy. My enemy. You are my enemy. I see who you are.
Man, we just need to down tools and not join in. We need to get a big boxing ring, put all the leaders in, and let them fight out between themselves rather than this, because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Since when did it become normal for clouds to be low enough to touch the top of cruise ships in the middle of the ocean? This is this lady's first time from New Orleans on a cruise ship, and she see this cloud coming at him like a giant wave.
This cloud looked like some kind of horror movie.
The way she said it, right, it made me laugh. It's just the accent, though. But check what is going on. Let me show you what the sky's been doing, y'all. We're definitely in a different world because never have I ever seen the sky look like this. Look at this, New Mexico. What level is this? What level is this? I want to know. What is the sun doing? Look at this. Look at the sun right there, y'all. How is the sun right here, but there's many lights up here? What is going on here? What is powering this thing, y'all? This looked like some type of Nikola Tesla type cloud, y'all. Am I tripping? Look at this. It's flashing. And now we're going to take it to the craziest weather attracting state known as Texas. What are these clouds doing, y'all? Look at this. It looks like these clouds are spawning from another dimension and entering ours. This is all in Texas. Look at the light. Where is this light coming from? The sun don't even shine that type of color. And then the clouds are literally touching the buildings and the trees. This is still Texas, y'all. The clouds are actually walking. So the clouds are walking. You guys are not stunned by this? People were amazed by trees walking. Aren't you amazed by the clouds walking? Look at this. Now let me show you what's going on in Georgia. Look at this shelf cloud over here, y'all. This thing is not even moving. It's still. Look at this. People are saying this is not normal weather. Georgia has never experienced this before. What would you do if you were about to get on a plane and you look outside your window and you seen this? What would you do? Is this why planes are falling out of the sky? The whole atmosphere has changed, y'all. Can y'all feel it in the air? But let me know what you guys think. Y'all, man, what's going on with the planet? Y'all, we're changing. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Wow, there are some crazy clouds, and you've got to wonder what is on the other side. You know, that's a huge cloud. Got to be covering something up, haven't they? That ain't natural.
They said if the world went to nuclear warfare, the world basically would be destroyed in like 7 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
What
You know what I'm
what
more
a
scared
seven
of than being blown up by a bomb?
What?
Surviving.
Yeah.
Surviving said bomb.
And living
No,
through
yeah.
nuclear winter.
I
I'm more
would
scared of that.
I'd rather be like in the blast zone than like outside of the blast zone.
Well, you remember the story? Do you ever hear the story about Jim Carrey when he was in Hawaii? They had
That's
like
crazy.
the alarm codes went off, like the text and stuff that said basically you have 11 minutes. There's a nuclear bomb headed toward Hawaii. Take cover. It's gone. Like Hawaii is going to be gone off the map.
Take
And
cover.
like do whatever you have
It's
to do.
gone.
Say, and so I think he called his like manager that was like there in Hawaii, and he just put his phone down and he just sat on the beach and he just waited. And he said there was like this peace and joy that came over him that has not left him to
I
this
guess
day.
my
but it's
question
like,
is, what movie did he do after that? I feel like that would just really
Impact you.
impact me and change.
it was Sonic the Hedgehog. he was like, you know what? It's time to start making movies that matter.
Wow, 7 minutes is not a long time to take out the whole world.
It's literally shining in my bedroom window. Am I the only one that see this? Yo, am I the only one that see this? I just finished praying and I look out my window and this is what I see. I've never seen it like this before. This is nutty. Y'all look at that. This is great. Do y'all see what I see?
What is that?
Just put it blatantly to you. The program targets the birth of new babies. So once you have your baby, before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body. Think about that. But have a listen to this.
The digital ID, which has been a big problem to us for a very long time, is now on a testing mode for the next 2 months. I have been assured by all the stakeholders, led by the ministries concerned, that by December we will be able to launch digital ID, where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper, plastic or otherwise as an ID. They should be able to be identified digitally.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't sound nefarious, does it?
They've been saying that Iran was 15 to 20 days away from creating a nuclear weapon since the 1990s. They were always days away from creating a nuclear arsenal. They still haven't gotten it done yet. It's the same exact script over and over and over and over and over, but they've been planning to invade Iran for a long time. So they use Israel as a proxy this time to make it happen. Now they have the justification to utilize the U.S. Army. The military-industrial complex has been activated, which is going to generate them billions of dollars because the weapons that they're using are all in the stock market. The companies that made those weapons are on the stock market, so they're playing the stock exchange. So they're going to clean up and make a lot of money on those stocks. It's all a money play. But you guys can't see behind the scenes, but I can.
Oh, there is definitely repeating scripts. I mean, if it's not broke, why fix it is probably their mentality, right? But you can see it.
An anti-gravity beam took me up through a hole in the bottom.
You're telling me at 2 o'clock in the morning in Giant Rock Airport, you walked underneath the traveling ship and whammo, you went up inside.
You didn't go whammo. You went just about as slow as a local elevator.
And when you got off the anti-gravity elevator, what did it look like?
I was inside of a ship about 18 feet in diameter and roughly 10 feet high to the dome ceiling. And there were 3 men on the ship, besides the one that had got off and invited me aboard.
You keep calling them man. What do you mean, man?
Well,
Little green man?
They were about 5'6". They came about to my eyebrows, and they could have walked in our clothes down any of our streets, and we wouldn't have paid any attention to them.
And did you bring any proof off that ship? Were you alone in the ship?
I was alone with the 3 men until the other fellow came up behind me, and then the 4 of them were aboard.
Were there any other earthly eyewitnesses to this?
Nothing on the outside of the ship.
And these people stayed outside?
On the airport.
And did you go anywhere in this ship?
Not to my knowledge. When I got off, it was the same place it was when I got on.
What do you mean, not your knowledge? Had the door closed when you went in or something?
I don't know, because it was below the deck.
And did these people tell you where they came from?
They didn't say where they came from, but I've been in the air game since 1927, and their instruments were unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Well, don't give me technicalities. What was different?
The difference was that we used dial instruments and they used vertical instruments like fluorescent tubes with marks on them.
What color were these people?
The instruments were marked in symbols similar to hieroglyphics. They were not in any language or number system we use on the Earth.
What color were these people?
They looked like they were white people with a good, healthy tan.
Did they give you any indication of how old they were, or what they ate, or where they came from at all?
After we got off the ship, the man who invited me aboard, who didn't look a day over 28 years of age, told me that he was over 700 years of age in our time.
He was 700 years old, eh? That would tell me that's they know how to keep themselves young. A little bit like the Bible, like Yahweh. He knows how to keep people living until like 1,000 years old, probably more. So these people have been here a long time. And they're probably the same people that can probably time travel as well. Go in and out of time and space.
When after the Titanic went down, they offered claims.
It never sunk.
Yes, it did. It's gone. It sank right to the bottom of the ocean.
That's the first I knew of it. I thought the other thing was I only thought she sprang a leak.
Well, she had a 300-foot gash in her. She had a pretty good leak.
Is that so? Did she really sink?
She sank. As far as we know, she sank.
That's the first I knew of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, okay. 102-year-old Titanic survivor didn't realise it sunk at 102. I mean, this is a long, long time ago. It's not something that you would forget, I don't think. So that's interesting. Mandela Effect, maybe? She swifted reality in a reality where it didn't sink. Interesting.
Where's that laser going?
Up to space.
It's shining over that mountain again.
Was it leaving?
Oh.
Whoa, okay. So lasers now can control lightning, which is interesting. And on lightning, actually, did you know, I watched Thor the other day because it's a brilliant film. Thor has his own day. Thursday is after Thor's day. It's named after Thor's day. It's Thor has a day, which is Thursday, which it blows my mind because I thought he was a fictional character. If he was a fictional character, then long time ago, when we made up the days of the week, somebody made this day after Thor. I can't work it out. Someone help me out because I know someone will know something about that. Let me know in the comments.
What's a high IQ conspiracy that you believe with your entire existence to be true?
So once again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just kidding. This is a theory, all right? But if by chance what I'm about to tell you is actually true, then the moment you realize it, the simulation's already going to be watching you, okay? It is watching you. But in 2019, a man named Jared started posting online about something strange. It wasn't aliens or ghosts or anything like that. It was something more invisible. He said that every time he started researching simulation theory, his life would completely fall apart. His phone would glitch out, his emails wouldn't send, his dog got sick, he lost his job 2 times. And it always happened right after he posted questions like, what happens if I try to wake up from this? How can I wake up from the simulation? Is the simulation reacting to me asking these questions? He would tell people this, and at first people just laughed it off. Glitches happen, life is hard, coincidences and whatnot. But then more people started commenting, saying that they had experienced the same damn thing. One woman said her TikTok views dropped to 0 every time she posted about a certain Mandela effect. Another guy claimed that his smart TV would turn on at 3 a.m. exactly, but only when he was trying to read and look up stuff about Project Looking Glass. Go ahead and look that one up, all right? Another said that his entire friend group stopped talking to him after he asked them if they felt weird lately, like time had been broken. The theory is called simulation conditioning. The theory is this: we live inside of a simulated reality, but the system is designed to keep you inside the illusion. The moment you try to question it, the simulation fights back. Not by sending agents. Agent Smith isn't just going to show up and start fighting you kung fu style. Not by deleting you, but by making your life harder. Like it's punishing curiosity. Lose your job, get sick, get censored, get isolated. Some people think it's random. Others believe that simulation is coded to preserve itself. And waking up is seen as a virus. But here is the weirdness, all right? Sometimes right before everything goes wrong, people report seeing patterns, repeating numbers in the universe, whispers in dreams, NPCs saying something that feels way off. I once had a dream where a voice said, for the entirety of the dream, stop looking or we will find you. And when I woke up, I didn't know what they were talking about. I thought, damn, that was a weird dream. And then I got to thinking, what if they had just wiped my memory? Maybe it's all just paranoia. Maybe it's confirmation bias. But if it's real, then every time you question the simulation, it sees you. And it doesn't like it. So if your life gets a little weird after watching this video, you know why. You can thank me later. Damn it, man.
Aha, yeah. I have a lot of weird stuff going on with my technology all the time. It never works, even though it's supposed to work. Whatever it is that I'm doing, it's always 100 times harder for myself. And yes, I do question whether we do live in a simulation. So maybe that is something to do with it. And on dreams, I had a really weird dream, not yesterday, the day before, about Donald Trump. I was in a lift, and I was in a lift with some people, but Donald Trump was in the lift as well. And he had an Aston Villa scarf on. So I was like, do you support Aston Villa? Because I support Aston Villa. And he said, yes. So one of the most random dreams I've ever heard of, because he wouldn't even know what Aston Villa is or soccer. So yeah, work that one out. Bonkers.
People are saying the same thing since CERN powered back up. Time feels weird, sleep is broken, dreams feel too real, and not just random dreams, like full-blown memories from a whole nother life. Mood swings, deja vu, you feeling disconnected, and nobody can explain it. CERN is not just smashing particles, it's shifting frequency. And when Earth's frequencies spike, we feel it. Our bodies react, our mind starts to glitch. You got logos changing, memories don't match, and your whole timeline feels edited. Some people believe that we've been nudged into a small reset. Not a real big explosion, just a silent shift. Same world, just slightly different route. Same life, but something's just offbeat. So if you've been feeling it, you are not crazy. You're waking up in the glitch. So if you're seeing this, it is not by accident. You were meant to see it. Now you just got to pay attention. So what's happened to you since CERN turned back on?
Yeah, I think I go into different timelines on a regular basis. I think I'm swipping all over the place. But on that note, it's the end of the show, peeps. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the support, and I will see you again tomorrow.